Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another installment of the MRL Challenger Series. Here for the round of six. This is the second to last race of the season, and we are at the final road course. With it being Canadian Tire, there is still a lot to play for these six drivers. Well, technically, there's seven because we have a Monster Racing that is going to be one of the non-playoff drivers that will come and spoil the fun a little bit. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a outside winner here. He is going to be starting P6 there. P7 will actually be BS. So we have six of the round of six drivers. So everyone joining us this time. And then we also have Monster as the only non-playoff driver. Joining me up here in the booth, you may hear his echo in my mic right here. That is Agent Orange. Nathan, how you doing today?
Doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call out your mic like that, but
No,
uh, no.
I've accepted it. I turned it down a little bit.
Well, we do that from time to time though.
Uh,
Always shoot. Even like since when we were racing in Elite together, I would always. I've just gotten used to just hearing myself through your mic, so it's definitely not new to me though. But Canadian Tire, you personally weren't here for the Saturday Cup race here, but you are here tonight. So I was going to ask how this was going to work in terms of applying what I know stage race to a stage race here. But I guess what we can do is look at how short this is. Of course, we have the rule in MRL that if we have eight or less drivers joining, we will have a 25 percenter. Now, since this is the playoffs and we have the rule also, so like we have not only of playoff drivers, being locked in, but you had to make a certain amount of races in order to even drive during the playoffs, which is why we don't have as many drivers here right now. Besides that, even some people, when they just don't make the playoffs, they just don't want to race. But beside the point. But that brings us to why this race is so short. So Nathan, 20 laps. This is a sprint.
oh, for sure. Yeah. With how short the stages will be, it'll be all out. Who's straight up fastest? It won't shouldn't play into any kind of fuel strategies or tire strategies or anything like that. It'll just be uh straight up who can get around the track quickest.
Well, speaking of who can get around the quickest, our pole time is Hunty with a 15 flat. Now, I'm looking at our P2 here, and I said this before we went online, but that is a huge difference in time right there. But of course, Hunty is known for his road course racing. That's his specialty. And that, in fact, one of his nicknames that he has is the trash can because he's trash can at anything not a road course. Yeah, but a second in pace right there. That is huge for a bunch of these drivers here. But yeah, that's just one of the things that I just wanted to clarify for everyone watching right now. The reason why we do only have seven drivers with us is because you had to make a certain amount of races in the regular season in order to race the playoffs. And then even those that didn't make the playoffs, I mean, it's up to them if they even want to race. Essentially, for some, and Nathan, you can say this, some people have that mentality that when the regular season is done, you didn't make the playoffs, your season's done.
Yeah, kind of what's the point mentality.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why we have team points. Team points are also on the board here. In fact, that's one of the few things I always just straight up ignore when I talk about them on stream. But Mopawa is currently leading every single team points. However, in this particular series, Nathan, you are actually P2 here with Grant Racing Incorporated. 60 points on out. Technically, um, and depending on where the Mo Power Boys finish, which is actually three of these seven right here, Hunty, UK, and Monster are all in that little team right there. That they can actually go and lock it up this race depending on where they finish. And yes, just like that, backs on or no, he's just lagging that bad. I saw him disappear right there. He said that his hotspot was going to be on the Fritz, so that's one of the storylines that I want to bring on up. That this 20 car, with him being in the playoffs, he needs to really watch it in terms of getting these points. Now, currently, the drivers that are in the playoffs, the bottom two are BS 14 cars, like I just said, as well as the 17 of Packers. Those are the ones that are in desperate need of points, and I will be doing points live as we are going at it. So,
First stage is 5 laps, by the way.
hey, I was saying it was gonna be 5 laps. So I'm assuming that stages are gonna be 5, 5, and then 10. I'm assuming at least. But that's crucial though, is that there's no strategy play at all. It's just literally, as you said, Nathan, who can go the fastest. Now, at the same time, it's going to be all about who can go the fastest and not make mistakes. One spin, and basically that's your stage. So I'm not saying that. Oh, I'm not saying like directed at you in particular, but
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
no, of course no. I mean like when I say like not directed at you in particular, but you want to make a mistake-free race here, or make as minimal of mistakes as possible because I mean you can just see just especially how with these short stages was the talent level of the entire field that we have I mean get loose coming out of this double right-hander or overshoot it or get spun around, and then your stage is done. But
Well, just like that.
just like that. But that's not a race under. But Cyber had to take a little bit of evasive maneuver right there. He probably had to get on the gas a little bit earlier than he would have wanted to. But that's going to allow his Mopowa teammate right there. I lied. Mopowa is actually over 50% of this field. I kind of forgot about that. Cyber is also on the Mopowa team here. Yeah. In terms of the other four drivers that are in the playoffs here, we have Mopowa Cat with a 32 point. Essentially, he's locked in. I mean, realistically, you need 60 points in order to mathematically lock yourself in. Yeah, 32 points with 7 drivers. That's basically a lock. Cyber, though, is 15 above. Hunty is 5 above. And Nathan, you are 2 above. So BS and Packers are in desperate need of those points. And currently, if those number 19 and 17 swap positions, that is essentially 2 points that is gained in Packers' favor. 1 point for Nathan dropping position, and 1 point for Packers upping a position right there. So that is just how things are going to roll here as the race goes on. But we have confirmation BS 14 cars has lagged on out of this race.
Oh
Ooh. Nathan, can you just confirm that car is actually on pit lane?
I see a dot on pit lane, so
Well, no shenanigans with the with actually ghosting or anything like that. We've encountered the glitch before that they're appearing on the pit lane, but they're actually still on track. Nope. BS is officially out of this race and therefore out of the playoffs. And especially with something that's not even in your control as well. I mean, you can't control lag. You can't control when you're going to lag on out of this race. But just like that, we are out of here. So, I guess, Nathan, that's actually somewhat good news for you. That's one less person you have to worry about.
for sure.
I mean, of course, you have to feel for your fellow competitor right there. But at the same time, when you only had 2 points to his gap right there, you really are not wanting to feel it. But with that, Packers though is definitely been the star of the show since Darlington. Darlington, he put up an excellent performance. Very, very shockingly to the rest of the playoff field because where he was positioned, he was dead last in the playoffs going into that race, but then he came on out to position himself. Actually, at the end of the race, if we were to not reset, he would have lined up P5 in the standings out of the original top 8. Absolutely absurd of what Packers did. And then he goes on out and gets a podium in his home track on Saturday. So Packers has been on a roll, and one thing that will definitely continue making his season here is if he can go and get into the playoffs. Now, it's going to be a hard task to do. I mean,
Last lap, by the way.
oh, thank you. Again, that's just how quickly this race is going to go on by here. But it looks to me that the moves are going to have to be made early, like as soon as the drop of the green for the stage, or but maybe, or you can avoid a mistake like that. Look at that, the 8 car of UK must have gotten loose coming out of the fast right-hander, or fast left-hander, going into the double right. I mean, that is, again, another mistake. Prime example. But
Scared me a little bit, that's for sure.
but coming out of the fast right-hander, there that is right there, and into the S's, Hunty is going to go and take stage 1 here, and I will be able to do points. But that did actually really help you out, because that put a 2-point buffer. So technically, I don't even need to do points right now. Technically, it's whoever is finishing in front of Packers. So you gain 2 points right there. Now Packers is -6. So that is a lot to work for right here. This race is actually more than likely going to be 23 laps now that I think about it. Or 22, 23, something like that. Because I've noticed that Mid-Ohio as well, Nathan, that every stage they add a lap to the stage. Yeah. So, like, more than likely it's going to be like a 23 lapper. So it'll probably be another 5 lap stage 2, and then 13, it was 12 or 13 for the final stage, which will mean a pit stop, and crucially, don't speed. So as we wait for the rest of the results to come on through, I mean, not results. Wait for the stage result to get undone. We are potentially looking at, I mean, maybe someone trying some pit stop strategy here, knowing that people have to pit here at the end of or in stage 3 regardless. Maybe someone's going to try to do the little strategy call and not pit pit before the pits close in stage 2. But one thing I was saying here is that Packers needs to get the move on here, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Can he go out? It goes wide right there in the left-hander, and that's going to be a position for the 17. The 8 of UK, basically on a free ride, has already locked himself into the final 4, so congrats to where he is right there. Packers trying to get the position there on the 1. On the outside, that's not the line that you want to take, but it will set him up for the inside here, going to the double right. Late on the brakes, the 1! Oh, but the 1 just makes contact with the 17, going into the braking zone, and that sets the 17 up. Oh, my goodness. The 1 of Monster Racing right there just locks it on up and hits the rear of the 17, and of course that was position for Packers to not be in. Crucially, now that essentially sets him that he has to go out and win this race, when that's going to be a really hard task to do when you have the 42 and the 3 so close up in the top spot. How many laps in this stage, Nathan?
It was 5 as well.
It was 5, so yeah, more than likely this race is going to be 22 laps total then. So yeah, we have a lot of potential for sparks to fly here in the final second and penultimate race of the season. Absolutely insane to think about that. Packers. Oh, when the final fast right-hander right there, just the Monster Racing locks it on up. Wrong place at the wrong time. But we've seen that crucially as well with Broadcaster Clay at Iowa, through no fault of his own, coming out of the pits. The 56 of Tomboy just comes and trying to avoid a lagging Baronet, goes and smacks him on the left-hand side. And then goes and spins Clay just from the contact. Now, we've seen that before, but now the 17 just has to regroup, knowing that this is only the second stage. He can go out and get it done. In fact, he's already closing on down the 1, and I wonder if the 1 will just kind of let him go by, knowing that, hey, that was not intentional. Oh, Nathan, what happened there?
I spun out coming out of the last turn.
Ooh, well, as I was talking about that, I was away from you, so I didn't see what happened there. I love that camera shot. Oh my god, that's actually a pretty good camera shot. The aerial coverage of the left-hander for turn 2, that was actually pretty good. But yeah, the 19 doing exactly what he needs to do, and just basically just finishing in front of the 17. But yeah, that's going to essentially set up Packers needing to go out and win this race, and that's going to be a hard task to do. Again, I wonder who's going to try the some strategy here to get track position. This is lap 3, correct?
Yes.
So this would be the final lap for people to go hit the pit road. I wonder if anyone's going to do it. I'm on board with Cyber, so I'll be able to see if Hunty's going to try to do it. No, and no. So no one's going to try to duck on down pit road here. Everyone's going for stage points now with Hunty hitting hitting the checkered flag. That is 2 laps to go. No one's doing it. I'm actually very surprised by that. I would have at least thought someone like UK, who always says that he's not the best at road courses, to go and try something different. But I mean, hey, you know, what do I know, right?
Sorry, I'm focused.
No, you're fine.
Good old road course racing.
Well, I'm actually glad that you said that, because I was just about to say take us through a lap there, but if you're focused, then I'll come back later. But yeah,
I'll do it on the last lap.
the one of Monster Racing already taken the jump right there, and he is gonna. Oh, actually, no, wait, what? Oh, no, he was just lagging. Okay, never mind. I thought he was taking the jump. No, he was just lagging. Okay, never mind. Maybe that will be another unfortunate engine DNF right there. I wonder if the servers are acting up. What a corner by the 8 right there. Absolutely deciding to take the exact wrong line. It's mind-boggling to me. I don't know how someone could be able to do that. But yeah, the 42 though has been looking stout, and much like I've been saying. Actually, you want to know something funny here, Nathan?
What's that?
Apart from right now, the final 4 are the same drivers that, like Packers or BS, obviously not going to be part of it. But this is, apart from swap out you with Xander, this is the same final 4 that we saw last season.
That's pretty ironic.
Cyber, UK, and Hunty both were the other 3 drivers that were in that race, or in that final race at Atlanta, and with actually Xander being the one to go get it. So, I mean, that has to be some kind of good news for you, because the other 3 here had the same opportunity to go and get it done last season, but
maybe it's a good omen.
Maybe it is a good omen. That's what I was trying to say. So,
that's the end.
Yeah. Well, of stage 2 at least. Now,
yes.
Like I said, I'm actually very surprised here that no one tried to do strategy there. I feel like, especially if you're back in the pack, or if you feel like you are just not cutting it in terms of long run, try something different. I mean, the pits were open. I mean, it looks like everyone's going to have to stop, unless I'm wrong, and that it actually is just going to be 10 laps. I guess we're going to find out now here. But yeah, I mean, I would assume try something different, but here we are. And again, Agent Orange finishes in front of Packers. Essentially, Packers at this point, even with only 7 drivers being in this race, well, 6 now, he has to go out and win this race in order to advance into the Final 4. But that is what he has to do. But it's definitely possible, I will say. Anything can happen.
Crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened, both in Challenger and Saturday Cup regardless. So here we are, stage 3 here. When we cross the line, Nathan, how many laps?
8 laps to go.
Ooh, that's a perfect stage right there. So I guess, yeah, maybe if you would have paid here, you wouldn't have been able to make it. So yeah, what do I know, right?
Well, see, you were saying that, and I remembered. A fuel run is 9 laps. I'm trying to sit there and do the math in my head. You know, we've done
Well,
5. We've done 5. It's like, I don't
because
know that you can
I
do
was
it.
assuming that it was going to just keep adding laps. So we would restart with on lap what 12,
Yeah.
and it would be to like 23. That's an 11 lapper, which we would you didn't pay. Oh, Hunty
Oh.
goes and gets wide right there, gives the lead to Cyber. Now Cyber, if I'm having that, run with it, my guy. You are absolutely not looking back. Cyber can actually go and snag this win. Hunty is fine on points right now. Literally, the only way the Final Four can get affected here is if Packers goes and wins this race. If anyone else wins, literally anyone else, the Final Four is not affected. So Cyber, you know what? You go do it right now. And currently, Mo Powell is running first, second, third, and sixth. So actually, they can go and actually um, they can actually go and clinch the team points right there. But let's talk about Cyber for a hot second. Not to give him the commentary curse or anything like that, but we have the tale of two seasons. Let's just say it like that. You have UK, who has been the dominant force this season. 2.7 average finish with 4 wins to his name. And then you also have Cyber, who is just as good. 2 wins to his name with a 4.5 average finish. Those two are the best average finishes that we have in the entire series. Now, currently, we have seen both drivers kind of trade best places on Saturday side of things. But it seems here, in terms of stage racing, it almost favors one as opposed to the other. Mayo coming in chat. What's going on, Mayo? Long time no see. Um, Saying turn off Hunty's PS3, man. Yeah, it's getting that bootleg internet right there, the McDonald's Wi-Fi. But he's putting the 3 under pressure right there. Looks to the inside. 3, of course, being his teammate, wants to give a little bit extra space. And with that, the 42 just goes and sails. Now, there is an opportunity to go and get this position back right here. It's actually going to be coming up here in the double right-hander. Now, I'm not saying go and just pretend he's not there. But you have to enter a little bit higher and gas it up a little bit earlier, and you can actually get a good run coming out of this double right-hander and going to the long backstretch. I like the idea that UK had, but not in practice. Don't do that. Yeah, pretend he's not there. Exactly. The 17 Packers and the one of Monster are having a whale of a battle back there for P5 and P6. So there's still battles all over the track right now. And especially as we go to 5 more laps in this stage and for the race. Nathan, I said that this race was going to be 20 minutes long, and we are coming up on the 17-minute mark.
You're not far off.
I was not far off. Literally, this race is, especially with it being a 25%er, is a literal sprint. In terms of the drivers or the races that are like classified as sprint, like the F1 sprint, they're literally 25% of the race. And here we are with a 25%er. 3 though. Oh my goodness! Not to break away from what I was saying. He's putting a lot of pressure on the 42 here. Now, whether or not the 42 will get loose again, that's going to be another question here. But Hunty himself has had a little bit of a weird season. Being in the Final Four from last season, he wants to back it up this season as well. He has 2 wins, 1 win right now. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong person. I was looking at Cyber right there, right behind him. He has 2 wins. Hunty, though, has 1 win right now, 3 podiums, 4 top 5s, and 7 top 10s with a 6.2 average finish. Of course, his specialty being road courses right here. You can see that he has also had a really weird season. Starting off super late. That win on Mid-Ohio was really what put him into the playoffs. And of course, he would have made it regardless, whether being on points or not. But a win is extra playoff points. And if he didn't get that win, I'll just say he didn't get that win. He would actually be in a very good points battle in order to see who would make the top 4 based on points. But 5 playoff points literally can carry you through the entirety of the round. Or I guess through the rounds, I should say, because since we only have 1 round here, which is actually going to change next season. I'm actually very excited for that. Of course, everyone watching right now, everyone in the Discord as well as the league know that next Tuesdays for Challenger, they're not going to be Cup anymore. It's going to be a rotating door of series, so it's going to go for like 1 season is Trucks, 1 season is Xfinity, and another season is Cup. And so we're going to be starting that next season with Trucks. And I'm so excited because we have some brand new tracks that we have yet to see even in the Challenger side of things. To kind of briefly go over what I was... briefly go over it, we haven't seen Chicagoland in Challenger. We haven't seen the Indy Road Course in Challenger. We haven't seen, especially Eldora. Duh, we haven't seen Eldora there. But all of these tracks, Watkins Glen, we haven't seen that in Challenger as well. All of these tracks are going to be part of the new Challenger Truck Series, and that's going to be starting May 17th. So for anyone watching, if you're just just a fan of the league as well, Nathan, oh wow, that's a good pirouette right there. Oh no, the way you said that, I'm sorry. Yeah. But for anyone watching right now, the Challenger Trucks is an open series, so you're going to be seeing a lot more people, a lot of different names joining for next season. And that will be starting on May 17th, so just here in 3 weeks. You have to feel for Packers, though. He had such a good playoff run with everything that he did at Darlington. Oh, that was a fantastic run, but unfortunately it's coming down to just one of those good old-fashioned points battles, and the points were just not in his favor. And it looks like right now, unless we get a yellow, which, if I'm counting my laps correctly, this is 2 to go, right?
It is.
See, I was right. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Someone was calling me, so I had to go and silence that. And it looks like right now, unless we get a caution this lap, he's not going to have the opportunity to go out and win this race. So, unfortunately, that does mean that Packers will most likely not advance unless something happens radically here in the final 10% of this lap. But also, it looks to me that the 42 of Hunty, the 3 has not left his sights as much as he wanted to. That mirror is still full of that number 3 Dow Chevrolet Camaro there. Now
we're about 7/10 apart.
Exactly, yeah. About 7/10 is what that distance is right there. And going into turn 1, Hunty goes a little wide, but that's going to actually allow the 3 to get a little bit closer. It looks like maybe closing the gap to around 0.4. Crucially, one mistake here, and it's lights out here. Going into the slower right-hander into turn 3, 42 takes a little bit of a higher line, but was able to gas it up a little bit sooner, so he's allowing himself a little bit more space. What can the 3 do here? Going into turn 4, the fast left, getting loose here is a definite no-no, and then fast double right-hander here. He has to go a little bit wide, but he just follows the 42. Oh, getting into the throttle right here, into the long straight back here. Underneath the Mobile 1 sign, up the hill. The 3 is going to be catching a little bit of draft. It's not going to mean much, but it could make or break you as we go into the S's. Underneath the Canadian Tire NASCAR sign, lay on the brakes as late as you want to. The 3 is looking for some kind of opening. He is right on his bumper, but I don't think it's really going to come on down to Canadian Tire finish. The 3 throws it on down to his bumper, but it is not there. The 42 will take the victory at Canadian Tire. UK comes spinning across the line in celebration of his podium. Agent Orange in the 19 will collect P4. P5 will be Packers, assuming he makes it. Yep. Packers will be P5. Monster will be P6. And BS, oh, super unfortunate for BS, who lagged on out almost as soon as the race began in P7. What a battle, though, at the end. Usually it's lights out for the 42 in order to go and get the win at road courses, but the 3 of Cyber put in a lot of time there on the last lap and gave him a run for his money, and that is a Mo Powell 1-2-3, by the way. The first of MRL, actually. So fun stat for you. The first time in a league, or in a league setting, that the entire podium has been swept by the same team. It's been 1-2 or maybe even 2-3 or 1-3 or whatever, but it's never been 1-2-3. Fastest lap was actually Cyber there with a 14.8. Oh wow, look at the difference in time right there. With a 14.874 and a 8.93. Dang. So that just goes.
Hey, I broke into the 15s.
Hey, that I think everyone improved on their qualifying time right there. So let's go and get our top 3 up in here. So I was slightly wrong. Sorry, it was 25 laps. Or sorry, 25 laps. 25 minutes.
Close.
I was close. So I'm sorry if you guys were on a tight schedule. I guess the 5 minutes will be taken out of your paycheck. Let's see here. Looking for Cyber. All right, there's Cyber right there. Apologies, I'm gonna mute myself for a hot second while I wait for while I get everyone all invited. All right. So while we wait for our top 3 to get up in here, just to reiterate, our final results here was the 42 of Hunty, Cyber P2, UK P3, Nathan, Agent Orange P4, Packers P5, Monster Racing in P6, and then BS14 Cars P7. Unfortunately, that does mean that BS and Packers both are eliminated from the playoffs. But, oh, that was a fantastic race to close out the finality of the regular playoff season, I guess. And now we move on to basically the best of 1 right now. So let's talk to our P3 here. UK, we all know that you're not the best when it comes to preset road courses. But it seems like you had at least a steady grasp of that car underneath you. Were you just in cruise mode, knowing that you basically had almost a full race distance and basically were guaranteed a spot in the final 4?
Yeah, pretty much. All those playoff points really helped me go into this race. I just took it somewhat easy. I was trying to get us a 1-2-3 finish, and it worked out.
Well, I mean, and that's actually one of the things I wanted to say. So, perfect segue. Thank you. This is the first time in league history that that an individual team. We kind of had it in season or in the Cup Daytona on Saturday, where it was DEI and VPR that swept the podium. This is the first time an actual like team, so like Mo Power, just in and of itself, has swept the podium. So congrats. I mean, that has to be.
I thought we had Mid Ohio too, didn't we?
No, I don't think so. Let me double check my own stats. I feel like this always happens. Like I always get called out on my own stats. Hang on, I'll have to double check that. But while I do double check that, UK, you were in this position last season. I was actually just saying to Nathan, who was our in-race reporter, that this will be the same Final Four just swap out Nathan for Xander as last season. What do you have in store in terms of differences for getting it done?
Hopefully no lap cars. Does that answer it?
Oh, sorry. I thought you weren't done. My bad. Well, I guess we're gonna have to find out here. But by the way, no, actually, Mid Ohio was not. That you finished P4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, hey, I was right. I was actually right.
He was right for the first time in your life.
I was actually right.
You did
So,
guess the last count earlier.
yeah, I basically, yeah, I'm glad that no one pit when I told him to pit because I would have been wrong. Um, yes. Because of that, though, we had a excellent battle for the lead. So UK, you had a great battle there for P3 with yourself and Nathan. Congrats! Basically, the top four, the final four finished P4, and you did well to finish P3. So let's
Yeah.
move on
Oh,
to
hold on,
oh
hold on. Nathan,
oh
where'd
my.
you go? Where'd you go? I looked up and he was gone.
Was it turn 3 or whatever? I got to the gas too soon and spun out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, I looked up and like, oh no, there's another car behind me now.
I was trying too hard to pass you.
Okay, you can move on, Patton.
All right. So, and speaking of the battle for the lead, Cyber, you put up an excellent show when, especially in the final lap. I thought straight up you were just going to do the classic Canadian Tire finish right there and just kind of straight line it a little bit, you know. But no, you were respectful, knowing that that's your teammate, and that will have to that sets the tone for when it comes to the final four. So I have two questions. First of all, one, the car must have felt amazing. So let's talk about that for a second. And then two, will you kind of like change your approach to that if that was for the championship?
Um, for number one, yeah, the car was amazing. It was really a flyer, like probably I think the best flyer on a road course I've had. Number two, I mean, who knows? I mean, it's a championship. I mean, you just got to go for it.
Because I was definitely seeing that entire, like, I guess I should even back it up and say like final three laps of that race. It was a nail biter. I was following you guys the entire time and having just trading lap times. I was actually a little surprised that the times were as close, 'cause especially the qualifying was a second apart. So I'm sure it was just one of those times like, okay, let's just getting into a rhythm and kind of just setting up quick flyers. But Cyber, did you think? I think it was almost as soon as the stage started, the 42 kind of got a little loose coming out of the double right-hander. Uh, did you like not look back after that happened? Because I can't imagine you took the lead, and I was just telling you, just go, just turn off the mirror and go. What was your mentality like at that point?
My mentality was like, I just wanted to lead lap at least, like so like Hunter doesn't lead all of them. But yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, nah, he's gonna come back to me. Just watch the next few laps, and yep, it happens. And my main objective was just maybe lead a lap, so at least someone.
So you can't say that Hunty led all of them. Well, that makes sense. But
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it definitely helps though that you definitely did not leave him alone. And actually, this will kind of transition perfectly into a Hunty's interview here. So Cyber, congrats on P2, setting yourself up lovely for the final four next season. Not next season, next week. Sorry, my bad. So let's see if you can go get it done. But yeah, that transitions perfectly into Hunty's interview here. When you got loose there and you had to go into P2, did you think that, or well, obviously, I would assume that you thought you'd be able to get past, but did you think that you'd be able to just kind of pull away like you did every other stage? Because he didn't leave your back bumper there.
I think they were like keeping up with me in the first stage, so I didn't really know what I was gonna hit because I felt like I was the most consistent actually in the second stage. Like I kept missing a turn in each freaking lap. Like yeah, where I'd get loose and I'd lose probably like a half a second in one turn. But yeah,
Well,
he gave me a run for the money on that the last 4 laps there, and that last lap my tires were bad, so like I had nothing on the last lap.
wow. And then that just goes to show that it's never over until it's over. I mean, everyone knows how good you are at road courses. I mean, shoot, you could ask anyone in the garage and just say, "Oh yeah, who's going to win tonight?" And it's going to say Hunty. But that almost changed when it came down to the final corner. Now, kind of the flip opposite. Did you think that he was just going to throw it down on you, or did you think that he was going to kind of do like the tap tap pass type of thing?
Um, I don't know, maybe a bump I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting really.
I was lucky.
Yeah, if it was UK, I think he would just straight lined it and just like, all right, well, it's Canadian Tire, man. Chase Elliott did it. I can do it too. But no. Again, like I was saying here, this is the same Final Four, or at least podium. You guys were all in the Final Four last season, and Atlanta was the track there. Xander ended up getting the championship. I mean, honestly, I think we have a good one coming up this season. It's gonna be, it's gonna be you as well. So Nathan, I'm glad that you're actually up here into the booth because now I can kind of give your thoughts on the Final Four. So yeah, Hunty, congrats on the win. That's actually has to give you some kind of momentum as we go into our final race next week. But I don't know. Homestead can mean a lot of different things. You just don't hit the barrels, is what I'm trying to say. Um, yeah, don't hit the barrels. But yeah, congrats on the win. Now, Nathan. Now, this is your first time in the Final Four. You missed out on it last time. I mean, what do you have, knowing that these three were also in the same category as you last season?
Um, it's gonna be a tough race for me because Homestead has a lot of draft advantages, and teammates are gonna do their thing to make sure that at least one of them secures a. I definitely have my work cut out.
Well, I mean, practice does make perfect. Is what I'm trying to is what I guess I'm getting out of that. You have multiple times practice there. In terms of ERA, I should mention that which is now the an MRL support series. You ended up winning that race there all the way back in race number 2 of the season. Of course, you're in the playoffs there as well. Can you kind of bring something from that race into that? Because it looks like it's going to be another 25% with stages, very similar to that.
I mean, that definitely boosts the confidence a little bit. Race for me. Cyber was also in that race. At least I know it's possible to beat him some.
Well, I mean, I think that says it all right there. So with that, I think we're going to close it on out for the night. I'm going to unmute UK there. All right. Any final thoughts before we close on out for the night, guys?
Why'd you mute me?
Your background just overpowering,
Oh.
man. All right. So with that, I guess no thoughts on that. So we are going to close it on down for the race week here in MRL. Thank you all so much for coming on out. Cyber, you actually are number 2 on the daily right there. So close in terms of times between yourself and Hunty right there. But yeah, excellent job everyone on this podium and Final Four. And we'll have to see how you guys do at Homestead. May the best man win. And we will see you guys next Tuesday for the season 1 finale. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.